Welcome to the EHF Euro 2018 live show presented by Lidl. I'm your host Rafaela Jan, coming to you from our studio here in Zagreb. Let's start today with our prediction competition. Remember, we are asking you to predict a winner of a game. Tonight's game, that is Sweden versus France. Who do you think will win? Pick the corresponding flag. It's not that difficult, so just respond with the flag. Do it right now because we will have to reveal the fans' pick at the end of the show. So that's the first thing. Now let's look at last night's action. It was Group 2 from the main round that started into their main round campaign. First up, defending champions Germany against the Czech Republic. The Germans needing to step up their performance if they wanted to keep their aspirations of a successful title defense alive. On the side of the Czech Republic, we have top scorer of the preliminary round, Ondřej Zrahala. Could he reproduce the 14 goals he scored in his last match in this one against Germany? Let's find out.
Hello and welcome to Croatia for continued coverage from the EHF Men's European Handball Championship. First goal comes. German fans celebrate. Chance now for Germany on the fast break. Gensheimer with a little less movement as he snaked in. Germany lead by 2. Again, Germany going with the empty goal. And that's cost them big time. Czech Republic score into the empty net. Referee didn't like that. Germany love that. Kohlbacher levels things up. 10 minutes gone of the second half. Just what the Czech Republic wanted. A 2-goal lead. Great save from Wolf. He didn't know where the ball had gone for a second. But Kohlbacher is putting some daylight between his team and Jan Philip's team. Pekela. That one will count. It sums up the way the Czech Republic have gone about their business. The final score, Germany 22, Czech Republic 19.
Still not a convincing performance by the Germans, but if one player impressed as the Germans turned it around, that would have been Andreas Wolf, goalkeeper for Germany in the last quarter, really. So take a look at what Carlos had to say about him. He said, Wolf is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Today, in 10 minutes, he gives the victory to Germany. Beautiful. He, for me, is the key of Germany's success. Carlos, you're right, because in those 10 minutes, how many did he save? 3 out of the 4 shots fired at him. Now, moving on to the second match from main round in Varaždin last night. It was Slovenia against Denmark, with both teams going into that one really with a lot of self-confidence coming out of the preliminary round. The Danes are the more experienced on this level of the competition. Let's find out how this one went. Let's look at the highlights.
Hello and welcome to Croatia for continued coverage from the 13th EHF Men's European Handball Championship. We'll get away with that. Kaltichnik with a lovely pass, and it's a great goal for Slovenia. Poor, right-armed paw on that ball just to thwart the goal. And Denmark take full advantage. That is a 2-goal swing. And now Denmark come away with it, the referee allowing play on. And it's a good advantage played by the referees. Seven on 5 again. Lakotinsek, this time he makes sure. Last time he had a shot, it was saved. That one isn't saved. Again, Denmark have caught Slovenia out with that ball onto the far wing. They want to get in front. Janč has been promising to do that. It's the wings that have taken Slovenia apart in this game, and they continue to do so. The final score, Slovenia 28, Denmark 31.
Lasse Swan was the outstanding player in this one. He scored 11 goals, and that makes him only the second player in the tournament to score more than 10 goals in a game. However, that was not what Luna focused on in her tweet about the Danish team. She said, "What a fantastic game. We are on the way and closer to the final." Well, there's still quite a ways to go, but let's take it away. No, first, let's a quick word on our prediction game. Remember, yesterday you had to predict both winners of both games, and you got it right, as did our guest Adrian, which means you're all now up to 3 points, because Brian, he said that Slovenia would win. So it's 3 points for each of you. And remember, you still have time to vote. Tell us who will win. Will it be Sweden or France? Vote below. Now, let's take a look here at the standings from Group 2. We have Denmark. They take the lead with 4 points, followed by Germany, also 4 points. FYR, Macedonia and Spain won't play until tomorrow, and the Czech Republic and Slovenia have a lot of work to do to finish in the top 2. Now, video technology has been used a couple of times already in the tournament. It's something pretty much brand new, and we wanted to know how it works and when it's used, so we sent out our mobile reporter, Spila, to give us all the details on video technology. Let's take a look.
The system we have here is in fact aimed at being a tool for referees to help them to take the right decision, having more information like the angles, the cameras coming from TV, some cameras in the goals or in front of the scoring table to really see all the field of play, because they have 2 pairs of 2 eyes, but they are running, there are many things to look at during the match, and sometimes to take the right decision it's good to see again the scene. So when they have a question they're not completely sure before taking a strong sanction, it's better they can come to us and check. In fact, they come to the table when, for example, there's a ball entering and exiting the goal, and they're not completely sure that it's indeed a goal. They can come, we show them the images, they can ask us to rewind a bit, to go forward, to clearly see what happened. Here in the venues we're using in fact 10 different cameras. We have 10 different signals arriving all together and being synchronized during the play. So we have 3 cameras per goal to see completely the goal line and check if the ball is indeed inside or outside. We have also 2 small cameras in the front of the scoring table, so that we can see with each the half of the play, the field of play, and we can check the entrance and exit of the players to check if they entered in the proper space, and also to check if there's been no problem, an entrance before the end of a 2 minutes, something like this. And the delegates can come and the referees can come to check if they are not completely sure that everything was right or not.
Well, thank you, Spila. And we've seen the refs using this technology a couple of times already as they strive to cut out error in the sport. Now, let's move ahead and take a look at the table from Group 1 in this preliminary round. We have Norway at the top. Sweden, Croatia and France all have 4 points, but remember Sweden and France are one game ahead, have one game less played, so they have a chance to move up tonight as they play at 6:15 here in Zagreb. That one is followed by the matchup between Croatia and Norway at 8:30. And now, with no further ado, let's take it away and look at this big first matchup tonight, France against Sweden. And that's why I'm happy to introduce our two guests. We have Kevin Domas. He writes for Hand News for a French website. And then on the outside, this is Frederick Palmqvist. He writes for Handball's Kanalen, a Swedish website. So really the two biggest websites going head to head here as I've invited you over to our EHF Euro 2018 live show. Thanks for coming, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Make yourselves comfortable, no reason to be nervous. So we're talking about this big match, big clash for tonight. Let's talk about how the two teams match up. Frederick, what do you make of the Swedish performance so far?
It's been like our trainer said, it's been heaven and hell. It started with hell against Iceland, a real tough first half there. We just got shocked by the Iceland team, and then we picked it up a bit, but we didn't really get there. Then was a touch and go against Serbia there in the second round, and then we shocked the whole Euros with beating Croatia in Croatia. That was a fantastic game, but the Swedish player really got a knockdown on them.
Okay, and Kevin, how do you judge the French's level?
For now, I think it's been perfect for France. They had their toughest match at the beginning against Norway, and they won, even though they didn't play their best handball. And I think that handball-wise, they've been gradually playing better. And it will be interesting to see if they can even play better against Sweden, because as the coaches said, it's going to be probably one of the most dangerous and the toughest game that they're going to have to face in this Euro.
And when you look at it, is there a duel you're particularly looking forward to?
I'd say that it would be interesting which one of the centre-backs would be the best. I mean, you've got Nikola Karabatic on one side, which is a very physical player, which is who is, you know, he can do everything basically by himself. Whereas on the other side you have Jim Gottfriedsen, who is a very collective player. He's like conducting an orchestra, if I can say so, and it would be interesting. Two different styles, but they're two different players in their respective teams.
Frederick?
Yeah, I'm always, as non-goalkeeper, I'm always interested in goalkeepers. So I think Sweden has maybe the best goal pair in the tournament. So Appelgren has started off really well, and I hope Palka will get there as well, but I think so. France, of course, has two great goalkeepers as well, and Gerard may be the better one of them. So I'm really interested in the goalkeeper fight, yeah.
And can you put it in perspective, this game? How crucial is it when you look at the group standings?
I think for Sweden maybe this is kind of a bonus game. I mean, France is the favorites here, as they should be. They're the best team in the last decade. So I think Sweden can advance if we beat Belarus and Norway. So maybe this is more of a bonus game for Sweden and maybe more of a decider for France.
And I think France are approaching this game very differently, because they want to win Sweden. It's not a bonus game, this is almost like a quarter-final. So they can beat Sweden, then maybe Serbia on Monday, and then they can face Croatia with nothing at stake, maybe. Whereas they could, if they lose tonight, they could rely on a win against Croatia at home on Wednesday, and that would be probably the thing that you can't bet on. You know, two different approaches, but it will be interesting to see which one will work best.
You would say the pressure is clearly on France?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, Sweden has been playing very good, and I don't think you can clearly point a favourite for tonight's game. You've got two teams that are playing equally good, and I don't think so.
I would like to look at one position on the French side, because you already mentioned the center back. Now, if there's anything where we can maybe criticize or say the French are a little bit less strong, it would be the left back. And that's because they are down 2 players that couldn't even come to the Euro, with Acombre and Nyokas. And now Timothée N'Guessan is out because of an injury, and MRI revealed he cannot play. 2 new guys are coming in, Luka Karabatic and then Romain Lagarde. But how vulnerable are the French on the left?
I think they've got the solution, because Nicolas Karabatic can actually play on the centre-back, but as well on the left-back position. And Dicamem, who is a very young player and nobody knew about before the competition, has been taking over on the duties on the centre-back, and they've got this solution. The thing is, if Nicolas is having a bad day, or if Dika is having a bad day, then we've got basically no substitute to take on from there. But we've got the solution, but will it work until the end of the Euro, or until the end of the main round? That's the main question.
Yeah, I agree, and I read this interesting thing in a Swedish paper called Aftonbladet, and it said, like, if we can isolate Karabatic, because he can only play in one position, either in the middle or on the left, so, and he has to play on the defense too, so if we can isolate him and focus on him and tire him out, maybe that will disrupt France's game a bit, so yeah, and then you don't have that much reserves to put in, so I think that could be a key for Sweden on the left back position.
I think Nicolas' performance is going to be key tonight. I mean, if he's having a great game, either scoring or passing, France will have good chances to win. Whereas if Sweden managed to defend well on him, just like they did last year in the World Championship, then we will be in trouble.
So we've talked about it. The French have looked the best from the past 10 years in terms of history. But Sweden, they also have an amazing history that dates back a little bit longer to the period of the Bengen boys, obviously. If you think about it, which history weighs heavier on them?
I would say France right now, because you're the most recent winners. So I guess so. This Swedish team we see now, they are the seeds of the grown-up trees of the seeds that Bengen boys shared in the 90s and stuff. So yeah, I think because you're the most recent.
Yeah, it's funny because Guillaume Gilles said, like, a couple of days ago, that France is in the place where Sweden was 10 years ago. Basically, France has taken over handball and for the last 10 years, but Sweden, with their young generation, have the assets to take over. And yesterday, Didier Dinard was saying that the game against Sweden in the World Championship last year was the toughest that he had to coach, and the toughest that his team had to play in the last competition. So definitely, France are in danger tonight.
How much has it helped the rest days now that they've been having?
Is it a help, or is it something negative?
You think it's okay?
It could be, because you know, get a rhythm in the first phase. You play every two days, and then you're used to it, and then suddenly you have 3 days break. 1 day where you do nothing, and then 2 days when you're only training, and it's hard to get the machine going again. And 2 days ago in Poland, France had this 4 days break, 4 days without playing, and then they played the crucial game against Norway, and they lost it. And somehow at the back of their minds, they remember it, and they'll try not to do the same mistakes.
Yeah, I agree, and I asked the questions to the players and the coach in Sweden. They, of course, said it was a good thing, but yeah, I agree with you. It may lost momentum, and Sweden come from such a huge game against Croatia. But they said that they were so, like, after that game, they were so drained of energy and stuff, so they needed at least 2 days to get back on track again. So that could be a plus, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
Okay, now 3 things France have, Sweden don't, and 3 things the Swedish have that the French don't.
We have Nicolas Karabatic. Sorry, that was the obvious one. We've got experience, because a lot of players have been there before and they know how to handle these games. And I'd say we have Dicamem, because it's like an X factor. You know, he's new, nobody knows about him, so he's got the ability to surprise.
Yeah. And it's more easy maybe to find the French, but we have things as well. And I know you, Kevin, don't want to agree that you're favorites maybe, but I would say that the underdog angle is a bit in Swedish favor, because we can play without pressure. France has played with pressure for 10 years now and almost always handled it. But this is a bit younger team, so it's going to be interesting to see with the injuries and stuff how they manage it. Two, we have the goalkeepers. I would say we have two of Bundesliga's best goalkeepers, and I think that's going to be key. And number 3, we have 2 players in each position, and both players are pretty unsimilar to each other. So if one shoots from far, the other goes bang on head first. So I think that could be a key for Sweden as well. Yeah.
Kevin, do you want to counter this goalkeeper question at all? Because it doesn't look too shabby either on the French side, does it?
Well, we have a very good pair, but the question is, will they be able to step up their level in such a tough game? Omeya has been there for 20 years or something, and the other two never had the opportunity to play such big games, apart from Gerard at the last World Championship. But that's a big question mark. We saw Paliska and Appelgren play very good for the last 3 or 4 years, whereas Gerard has been a bit off and on, and he's got big shoes to fill. He's got big shoes to fill. He's got such a weight in terms of legacy from Omeya to bear. That's going to be, it's going to be a revelator. You're going to know if he's up to the task or not. It's nice.
Okay, I feel a prediction coming on, but I've heard you've watched the show before, and we always ask the fans, we ask the guests, and then we have Brian to give us his pick. But now I'm in a little bit of a complicated situation here because I have 2 guests, and I highly doubt you will agree on who will win that one. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna quiz you guys, and the winner will get to pick.
Okay.
As the guest. Okay, so the quiz is for you. You have to name the top scorers of the competition so far from the top 10. They don't have to be in order. You just give me. You have about 3 seconds for each pick. So, Frederick, here you go.
Björnsson.
Okay. Stop. You just name one. We go
okay,
one at a
sorry,
time.
yeah.
All right.
Dickerman.
No.
Okay.
Hansen.
You're already good. You already won.
Ah, okay, I'm good. Okay.
So you're out. You don't get to pick. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
So I get to do a prediction.
You get to do the prediction. You get to do the honors. So
yeah. So I have to say that Sweden is going to win because Ford is power and winning them. Sweden.
That's not nice, is it?
It's not. Sorry.
Okay, you've heard it. So the pick is Sweden, and I'm not sure who Brian picked for this one. So why don't we take a look? Brian, where are you?
It's a cold and foggy morning here in Zagreb, and that means only one thing. There's an upset on the cards, a Swedish upset. I'm going for the underdog again. Sweden is my pick.
Okay, so there you have it. Thank you for coming. And before you leave, that's why you're still here, because you didn't get your present.
Do we get a present?
Oh, you get a present. You're so lucky. We have the little mountain sheepdog tour.
Okay.
Or we have a cup, and it's actually a choice. It's become a choice. We're so generous here.
Which one do you want?
I get to pick, so you get to pick.
Oh, you can eat. You can both have your choice.
Oh, really? Okay. I want the mug then. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, 2 mugs. Number
Lovely.
1.
Cheers.
And another mug.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Looking forward to a good match tonight, of course, live on EHFTV.com. Now, as we transition in, we still have one match to preview here, and that is going to be Croatia against Norway. It's a rematch of the Euro 2016 bronze medal that Croatia won, and it's also a rematch of the World Championship semi-final, which Norway won. Both teams will need to step up their performance in the defense, and Ivan Čupić could become Croatia's all-time top scorer at an EHF Euro. He just needs to score 1 more goal against Norway, and that would make him pass legendary Ivano Balic. Live, of course, both these matches on EHFTV.com. Also, remember, you can follow all our live action on the channels. That is EHF_live and at EHF Euro. That's it from the live show for today. We'll be back here tomorrow with more. Until then, enjoy the action and bye-bye.